On day 1, I spawned in as a cat. But not just any cat. I'm a fire cat. I can swim in lava. I don't know how useful this is, but it's pretty cool. I looked around me and saw that I was in a village full of villagers.
It's lunchtime, Silio. Come get some fish.
It sure is nice having a family who keeps me fed and taken care of. They even gave me a couple hay bales in case I got hungry and wanted some bread later.
Oh, you villagers and your silly mutant cat. Did you really think that you could keep hiding for eternity? This time that cat is mine and you're all going down with it.
Silio, run to our nether portal. We'll hold him back.
I started running away, but looked back and watched as the alpha zombie killed our villager's big and buff iron golem and captured all of the villagers.
I must be stronger than I thought. This was way too easy. You're next, little kitten.
He's too strong, Silio. Get away now.
I made my way to the nether portal, but found that it wasn't lit up. The alpha zombie was right on my tail, and I had to do something. I charged up all the energy left in my body, and used my fire ability to light up the portal, and I hopped right in. I entered the nether on day 2, and as soon as I spawned in, a ghast tried shooting at me, and broke the portal behind me. That should keep the alpha zombie away for now. But I'm not safe here out in the open. I need to find some safety. I wandered into a warped forest, and went to collect some wood. But just then, I was approached by a massive netherite monstrosity.
What are you doing here, you cursed overworld and nether mixed breed? Get out of my forest right now before I kill you and the rest of your kind.
I don't want any trouble, sir. I ran away as the beast let off a massive shockwave behind me. That was close. Looks like I'm not going to be safe in the overworld, or in the nether. I better get to work. That creature also mentioned there were others of my kind. Hopefully I can meet them someday. I found a crimson forest and started collecting some wood when I heard a shriek from the other side of the forest. I went to check it out and saw a firewolf being chased by a group of wither skeletons. That firewolf looks tired, and the wither skeletons are catching up to him. I better go and help him out. By the time I made it to the firewolf, he was caught in a corner, and I knew I had to act fast. I didn't have any weapons yet, but I would do anything to help anybody in trouble. Take this, you pile of bones! I punched the skeletons, and to my surprise, I had discovered a new firepower, as I set each of the skeletons on fire. This gave the firewolf just enough time to recuperate and run away. Hey, come with me! Over here! The firewolf didn't listen though, and went his own way. Wait for me! I tried running after him, but the wither skeletons hit me, and I knew I had no business fighting them yet, since I only had 3 hearts. This was a losing battle. I better get going! I ran for what felt like forever, and I was getting really hungry. I eventually lost the wither skeletons, and dug myself a little hole in a wall, and made sure to sleep there for the night. I needed the rest. On day 3, I woke up to my stomach growling. I need some food. I took a look around my base and found a bunch of mushrooms and realized I had no other choice but to devour them. These things are disgusting. If I want to grow into a big and strong fire cat, I'll need some better food. I started scouting the nether to see what I could find, and I ended up seeing something strange in the distance. I went up to it to go and take a look at it, and it seemed to be a statue of a king. There was a chest underneath it, and I tried to go and open it, but each time I tried to get close, I would get teleported away. I then saw a sign nearby, and went to go check it out. Only the chosen king of the nether, overworld, and end may claim their prize. What could this be about? I wonder who the chosen king is. I really hope it's not the enemy.
I see yet another youngling has found their way to the King's Rock. I remember my first time seeing this statue. It must have been centuries ago. No point in wasting your time here, though. There hasn't been a new chosen one in an eternity. But it sure is a sight to see. If you want to try and test yourself, there's somebody who can train you to harness your fire abilities. And who knows? Maybe you are the chosen one, but you are not yet ready. The legendary Fire Guardian lives in...
I looked around and saw a bunch of piglin brutes that were coming towards me.
Get away! No!
I had to think fast. I quickly crafted myself a sword from the wood I collected earlier and tried battling the brutes. I tried fighting them, but their axes did a lot of damage, and I could barely hurt them through their armor. I wanted to stay and fight, but I knew this was not the time for that. I had to run away. After a while, I managed to lose them and quickly dug out a hidey hole to sleep in for the night. On days 4 and 5, I woke up early, ready for action. I wish I could have asked that fire dragon more about that statue, but perhaps I'll run into him again later. I went out exploring, and it wasn't long until I found a cobblestone hut built fields in the distance and decided to go and check it out. That doesn't look as mighty as the alpha zombie's house must be. I wonder what's going on over there. I went to check it out and found it filled with chests and decorations. This must be somebody's safe house. I then turned around and saw a nether portal right behind me. Whoa, this place is really advanced. I checked out what was in the chest and saw a bunch of iron and even a few diamonds. I bet nobody will mind if I take these. Just then I heard a loud noise from outside.
What was that? Is somebody going through my chests?
It wasn't long before Steve had showed up at the front door.
Yet another nether mob trying to steal my loot. I'll handle you exactly how I did that mutant zombie's minions.
I looked around for any possible escape and saw a bunch of bones lying around. This guy means business. He pulled out his sword and started approaching me.
Any last words, kitty cat?
Steve, don't hurt him.
Huh? Why not?
That fire cat saved my life a couple days ago. I promise he doesn't mean any harm.
Oh, so that's what you were talking about. You can stay with us if you'd like. We have an extra bed for you.
Thanks so much. Steve went out to look for some blaze rods and left me with the firewolf to get to know each other.
Thanks for saving me out there. That was really kind of you.
No problem. My family was captured by the alpha zombie recently, so I know what it's like to be in a sticky situation. What's your name, by the way?
My name's Finn. I'm also really tired right now, so let's go get some sleep.
On days 6 through 8, I woke up starving and decided to go and look for some food. Perhaps I'll find some food in that crimson forest. As soon as I entered the forest, I was attacked by 2 big hoglins. These guys are going to be tough. I knew I had no choice but to face them though, so I fought back with everything I had. I knew my wooden sword wouldn't be enough to kill them, but lucky to me, my fire effect really seemed to be wearing them down. The hoglins left me at super low health, but I was able to kill them in the nick of time. Phew. That was close. I also realized that the hoglin had dropped cooked pork chops instead of raw ones. At least food will no longer be an issue. These fire abilities are sure coming in handy. I ate the pork chops, and just then I felt something change inside of me, and I grew into a full-sized fire cat with 10 hearts. Now I'll finally stand a chance against any mobs that want to hurt me. Although I don't think I'm ready to take on that alpha zombie yet. I'll need to find that fire guardian to train me to become stronger. I started days 9 through 12 off by asking Finn about where the fire guardian might be staying, and he told me he'd take me with him to one of the nearby ancient nether fortresses.
Steve told me he last saw the fire guardian over there, but he did say the fire guardian did not seem friendly, so let's be super careful.
We started our journey off, but before we made it far, I told Finn that we needed to make a quick pit stop first. I headed over to a basalt delta that I had spotted earlier, and crafted myself a wooden pickaxe, which I then used to mine a bunch of stone and craft a stone sword, pickaxe, axe, and shovel. Alright Finn, we're good to go. We kept traveling for a while, crossing massive seas of lava and traveling through rough terrain, but the nether fortress was still far away, so we decided to rest for the night and keep on going tomorrow. I was really tired from all that traveling and ended up sleeping through all of day 13, but during my sleep I had a nightmare that I was approached by the alpha zombie.
Looks like you've grown a lot since I last saw you. How cute. I bet you think you're safe over in the nether, but think again. If I can't use your DNA to give me fire powers of my own, I will find somebody else here in the nether to do so, and then you'll have no escape from me.
But why are you targeting me? What have I done?
You're the final one of your filthy fire kind of animals, the only creature strong enough to be able to claim the King's Rocks rewards, and I will not let that happen. Once I claim whatever amazing ultimate weapon the ancient king has left behind, there will be no being strong enough to stop me. This is your last warning. Run far away and do not meddle with my plans, or else you will be in big trouble. Oh, and by the way, I may not be able to withstand the heat of the nether, but you'll be paid a visit by one of my good friends soon enough. I'd watch my back if I was you.
The alpha zombie then leaped at me, and I woke up in a cold sweat. There is no way I will ever surrender to that evil creature, no matter what. I'm going to become stronger, and I am going to take him down. On days 14 through 18, I told Finn about my nightmare, and we agreed to halt our adventure for now and go back to check up on Steve. It took us a long time to get back to Steve's safe house, but we eventually made it back. And to our horror, we found the safe house and the surrounding area completely wrecked, and I saw some kind of fire beast rampaging around the area. Finn, you better hide. The alpha zombie doesn't know there are more fire creatures around. I don't have time to explain right now, but wait here for me. I'll go take care of that creature. As I made it closer to the safe house, or at least what was left of it, I finally caught a full glimpse of the beast, and it turned out to be an Ignis. I slowly approached the base, careful not to get spotted, and that's when, to my horror, I saw Steve chained up in a cage. I can't let another innocent family get hurt. I have to try and fight this thing. I pulled out my sword and charged at the Ignis, striking it with all my power, but my sword didn't seem to affect it at all.
Finally, I found you. Just like the Alpha Wolf told me. He will reward me greatly if I bring you back to him. We can do this the easy way, or the hard way. Which one will you choose?
I'll never surrender to you. I tried fighting the Ignis, but for some reason I couldn't set it on fire. He must be able to resist my fire completely. After just a few hits from the Ignis, I was left at less than 2 hearts.
Now come with me, little one.
The Ignis started approaching me, and I knew this was it. I closed my eyes and accepted my defeat.
Take this, you evil beast!
Finn had come from behind and struck him in the back.
Come on, Cilio, let's get out of here. Follow me.
I acted fast and managed to escape from the Ignis's grasp just in time.
Over here!
Finn led me through a secret under lava pathway into a small cave that had just enough space for a chest and a nether portal.
Steve knew that if anything was to ever happen to him, this would be a spot for me to find safety in.
That's so sweet of him. And don't worry, the alpha zombie didn't kill my parents either. There's a good chance that he'll capture Steve and hold him as hostage until we are both caught. And I promise to not give up until we've taken that evil monster down.
Let's do this, Cilio. You and me together.
Let's do it. Finn and I hopped out of the nether portal on days 19 through 23. I was finally back in the overworld. Wow, I haven't been in the overworld since my owners were captured by the zombie. But now's no time to reminisce. We need to start mining for some stronger gear. These stones will not be enough to take on those evil brutes. We started our journey to look for some iron, but just then we were attacked by a wild bear. Don't worry, Finn, I'll protect you. I went to strike the bear with my fire powers, but it almost seemed unfazed by my attacks. And this guy hit hard. Or maybe not. Finn, let's run away.
Even if we were able to fight that bear together, we need to lay low and not cause any commotion. We can't have the alpha zombie knowing we're here.
You're right. Perhaps it would be smartest if we build ourselves a home hidden away somewhere safe, where we won't be found. We went off, and it wasn't long before we found a mountain, where we decided to dig our house into. We cut out just enough room in the mountain to set up our beds, a couple furnaces, and some chests to gather our gear in. It's not much yet, but at least it's a place we can call home. On days 24 through 28, I figured that it was time to make some upgrades. I let Finn work on some chores at home, while I went out to look for some iron. It didn't take long until I found a cave, and to my joy, it was full of iron and coal. I started mining it out, but just then, I was ambushed by a group of skeletons and zombies. Can I catch a break anywhere? Whatever. Bring it on. I started fighting the mobs, but they did a lot more damage than I expected. I really need to craft myself some armor. I kept fighting them off, and I eventually managed to slay each of them, one by one, until they were all gone. I killed them all, but their attacks really hurt, and left me on low health. I'll need to become a lot stronger if I even want a chance at taking on the alpha zombie. I made it back home on days 29 through 34, and made sure to fill up my furnaces with all the iron I had collected from the cave. While they were smelting, Finn came up to me and told me to follow him outside.
Check it out, Cilio. I built a small farm for us filled with potatoes, carrots, and seeds. It should keep our stomachs full for as long as we'd like.
Thanks so much, Finn. I really appreciate it, but I feel like I need something more filling for myself too. I made my way down to the ocean and decided to catch a couple of fish. Oof, this water really isn't nice, but these tasty fish will sure be worth it. As I was making my way back home, I saw something suspicious in the distance. It was a large fancy building that really seemed out of place. If the alpha zombie hasn't destroyed that building, it must be important. I need to go and check it out later. I eventually made it back home and collected all the iron that was done smelting. I used the iron to craft myself an iron helmet and boots and an entire set of iron tools. I even had some leftover iron, which I used to craft myself a pair of shears, which I'd use for a project later on. I woke up on the night of days 35 to 39 to a loud bang I heard outside.
Oh no! What was that, Cilio? Do you think it could be the alpha zombie?
I don't know, Finn. Stay here. Let me go and check it out. I slowly made myself outside and didn't see anything. That's weird. Maybe we just imagined it. Just then, a group of armored zombies fell from the cliff above me, and it wasn't long till I was circled. This isn't good. Finn, come help me out! The zombies attacked me right away, but thanks to my armor, I was able to tank their hits easier, and the combination of my iron sword and my fire powers helped me hit these zombies hard.
Take this, you zombies!
Together with Finn, we were able to take out the zombies. Wow, we really do make a good team.
We sure do.
Morning had already come, so we decided not to go to sleep and get to work. Even though we managed to take out that previous horde of zombies, I knew it wouldn't be a smart idea to leave our base in constant danger, so I decided to do something about it. Firstly, I surrounded our base with a bunch of torches to make mobs not spawn nearby. After that, I used some of the nether bricks I brought from the nether to craft a bunch of walls that I placed around our home to keep any pesky mobs out. Now this is more like it. It wasn't long until days 40 through 44 came around, and I knew it was time to start working on the project I mentioned earlier. I took some of the wheat from our farm, and together with Finn, went off to look for some sheep. We found some in the middle of a forest, and used the wheat to bring them back home, while Finn kept them in place. I enclosed them in a pen, and then went out to gather some more materials I'd be needing for this project. After a quick look around, I found a flowery field, and collected a couple of red tulips and dandelions. I then crafted them into a bunch of red dye and yellow dye. I then made it back home and used my dye to color the sheep. Here you go. You'll be red, and here's some yellow for you. I then started to shear the sheep. I then made my way on top of the cliff my base was built in, and started working on a fire cat statue. I started off by working on the legs. I didn't get too far into it, but I'm happy with the progress I managed to make on it. By the time the statue is done, I'll be strong enough to take down that alpha zombie, and this statue will be assigned to all mobs that they don't have to live in fear anymore. On days 45 through 51, I had had enough of hiding from the alpha zombie and fear, so I started making my way towards the massive building I had seen earlier. It didn't take long until I had made it nearby, and as I got closer, I spotted a group of mutated zombies roaming around the area. There's no way this is a coincidence. I have to go inside and see what's going on in there. I knew that if I tried to fight them, I'd alert the zombies to me, so that wasn't an option. But that's when it hit me. I used my fire abilities to light a couple of trees on fire, which eventually spread into a forest fire. It wasn't long before the zombies saw what was going on and ran to check on it. This is my chance. I better be fast. I didn't have much time, but I ran as fast as I could and made it inside without being spotted. I looked around and saw an extremely well decorated room with a bunch of gold and iron everywhere. The alpha zombie clearly has too many resources. I bet he won't mind if I take some for myself. I mined a couple of the iron blocks and took them with me for later. I then kept exploring the building until I found a hallway that led into a room with a massive door. Something must be going on in here. I made my way to the door, but just then I heard some massive footsteps coming my way, and I hid behind the door.
You're telling me there's another one of those filthy fire mobs still alive? They were all supposed to be dead.
Yes, my lord. I do not know how this is possible. Your armies were supposed to have killed them all, apart from the kid who somehow escaped you.
Well, perhaps this is better news than I would have thought. Whenever our scouts locate that fire cat's location, we'll make sure to capture at least one of them. Doesn't matter if we get them dead or alive.
Oh no, I need to tell Finn about this.
That is an exquisite plan, my lord.
Now scram to the nether and keep looking for that fire guardian, and I'll handle some more business here in the overworld.
I then heard the footsteps start moving my way, so I just froze and hid in the corner behind the door and watched as they walked past me. They didn't see me though and kept moving past, eventually turning the corner and leaving me in the corner unscathed. Phew, that was close. I'll really have to be more careful next time. On days 52 through 58, I was just about to leave the building when I noticed something glistening from the alpha zombies room. I better go and check that out. I made it closer and saw a shulker box that seemed to be surrounded by some majestic blocks. I know this is wrong, but I need any help I can get to find mine and Finn's family. I headed over to open the chest, and inside that, I found myself a diamond pickaxe and a book called Hostage Whereabouts. This must be where my owner and Steve are being kept. I have to head back home right now. I started leaving the building, but just as I turned the corner, I encountered a couple of the alpha zombies' guards. Oh no, this is not good. I knew I didn't have much time before the zombie would be back, so I fought the guard with all I had, and I managed to eventually get the upper hand over one of them and kill it. Just then, a bunch of alarms started ringing, and I knew this was my last chance. I gotta get out of here fast. I ran past the guard, and as I made my way to the entrance, I turned around to see myself facing a dozen more of the mutated zombies I saw earlier. I didn't even try to face them, but I quickly lit the door behind me on fire, slowing the zombies down, and then rushing back home, making it out of their grasp just in time. Even the alpha zombie's guards seemed really strong. I can't even imagine how powerful he must be. If I don't even stand a chance fighting his minions, I think it's finally time I go and seek out that fire guardian. I made it back home on days 59 through 63 and opened the book labeled Hostage Whereabouts together with Finn. The book seemed like it was missing a bunch of pages, but there was one page full of text that was still intact. This page had the coordinates to one of the hostage locations, and it also had a reference to Finn, which seemed to indicate that it is very possible that this is where Steve was being held.
Cilio, we have to go and save Steve right now. I bet they're torturing him to get more information about me. I can't just leave him there.
I know how hard this must be for you to hear, Finn, but I don't think we're strong enough, even as a team, to take on that alpha zombie or his toughest minions yet. I need to become stronger first.
Ugh, but what if they kill him? Cilio, we need to do something.
I know. Listen, Finn, I'm gonna head back to the Nether right now and seek out the Fire Guardian. He'll help me learn new abilities, and when I come back, I'll be 10 times stronger than I am now. And we'll go save Steve together.
Okay, fine.
I could tell he wasn't happy with my decision, but I don't think there's any other way of going about this. Finn, while I'm gone in the Nether, I want you to gather a bunch of resources for a rescue mission, and a bunch of food to leave us ready for anything.
I can manage that.
I knew I didn't have time to waste, so I headed down deep into the underground and collected as much obsidian as I needed with my new diamond pickaxe. I then lit the portal up and hopped right in. On days 64 through 68, I spawned in the Nether and got right to work. I better go check if that Ignis left anything of value at Steve's old safe house. I went to go and scout the location, but everything that had been there before had been destroyed. I can never let that alpha zombie hurt anybody ever again. I'm going to stop him. I have to. This was my last straw. I would stop at nothing to take him down. I wasted no time and headed to the ancient Nether fortress that me and Finn tried to go to earlier. Even though it was far away, I did not stop for a second to rest. I would make my way to the Fire Guardian, no matter what stood in my way. It took me a long time, but I eventually made it to the Nether fortress. Or at least, what had been a Nether fortress. The alpha zombie must have heard of the legends of the Fire Guardian, because this place was completely destroyed. Oh no, if he managed to get a hold of the Fire Guardian, he must be unstoppably powerful. And who's gonna train me now? I went to check out the Nether fortress anyways, to see if there was something of value left over. I entered and found a bunch of chests, armor stands, and paintings, but everything was destroyed and looted. Maybe this was a waste of time after all. I started making my way away from the fortress, but just then I heard something emerging from the sea of lava nearby. I turned around to see what it was, and saw myself eye to eye with the Lava Guardian.
Your presence seems more pure than those who ruined this place earlier. What is it that you are searching for?
I'm here to train my abilities, and learn to master all of my fire powers. Can you please help me?
I see. I'm afraid our time is short. It's not long until that zombie's troops will locate me and capture me. Or worse. Let us begin tomorrow.
The Lava Guardian then took me to his home, which was located in a crack in a wall of the Nether fortress. This place is so cool! Thanks for taking me in. We started days 69 through 75 off early in the morning.
Alright, Cilio. Since we're on a tight schedule, we'll start off with what's most important. Follow me.
I was excited to begin and master my fire powers, so I happily followed the Lava Guardian to our first training course. What is this? The Lava Guardian had taken me to what looked like a trampoline. How on earth is that supposed to train me?
I want you to jump on the trampoline while reciting this book and dodging my shots.
Well, you know best. I did not believe for a second that he was telling the truth, but I did the task anyways. I solemnly swear that, I will cut off my, Master's Garden, for the next month? Hey, how on earth is this supposed to help me?
Oh, it's not. I just haven't felt like gardening lately.
Are you kidding me? He then took me to the bottom of a cliff, which had a bunch of dispensers on it.
Now, I want you to catch each of the apples that fall down the cliff.
That'll be easy. Or at least that's what I thought. But this was way harder than I thought. How am I not catching these? Cats are supposed to be agile. I eventually got better at it though, and I was catching the apples without any struggle. I did it, Master!
I have one more task for you before your final test. Here, follow me. I want you to fully master your cat-like agility, and I want you to try out completing this agility course.
You couldn't have given me anything more challenging. Here goes nothing. I started flawlessly completing the course, until I was knocked off my feet by a blast of fire. Hey, what was that for?
You must be able to focus on anything that comes your way. You cannot blindly focus on just one thing. Now try again.
Fine. I kept going for hours and hours until I finally managed to fake out the Lava Guardian's shots and eventually reached the finish line. I did it, Master!
That means you are ready. Get some rest for the night. Tomorrow will be a big day.
Day 76 through 81 came around and the Lava Guardian sent me on my final task.
With all your newly learned abilities, I want you to go and kill the Ignis's toughest commander, the Flame Breather.
I'll take on any brute that decides to side with the Alpha Zombie. Now where can I go find him?
You will find him at the edge of one of the easternmost cliffs in the Nether. It will not be hard to find him. If you manage to defeat him, bring back his horn as a spoil of victory, and your final test will be complete.
I've got this. I headed to where the Lava Guardian pointed me towards, and it wasn't long before I made it there, but the cliff seemed to be deserted. Maybe the Lava Guardian was wrong about the Fire Breather. Maybe he was... Something just hit me really hard, but at least the lava softened the landing. I turned around to see what it was, and just as the Lava Guardian had said, there was a Flame Breather looking down at me from the top of the cliff. Oh boy, here goes nothing. The Flame Breather flew down towards me and started shooting me with balls of fire from midair. He was so high up that I couldn't even hit him back. Thanks to my agility training, I'm able to dodge his shots, but I can't keep this up forever. I quickly made my way out of the lava, and that's when I saw a small cave nearby. That's perfect! If I trap him in there, he won't have the height advantage anymore. I made my way into the cave, and to my joy, it worked! The Flame Breather was no longer flying, and even though I was exhausted from all the dodging in lava, I still managed to keep my energy up and fight the Flame Breather with my sword. I could see that it was doing quite some damage, and it wasn't long until the Flame Breather finally went down. I did it! Just then, I felt something change inside of me, and I turned into a massive fire cat with 20 hearts! I feel amazing! I better go and show the Fire Guardian my new form. I picked up the Flame Breather's horn and headed right back to the Guardian. I arrived back at the Lava Guardian on days 82 through 86 and gave him the horn. Here you go, Master. I finished your task, and I also became a lot stronger along the way. Thank you for all your help.
I knew you could do it, Silly-O. Now, I want you to try and charge up all the power in your body, concentrate it, and let out a blast of fire into the distance.
No way! Can I do that? I didn't believe him, but I charged up everything in my body, and just like he said, I sent out a blast of fire from my mouth. Whoa! Thank you for all your help. I'm going to go and kill that Alpha Zombie right now. For all of us. I said my goodbyes to the Lava Guardian and started heading back home, but it wasn't long till I heard a loud bang from the Nether Fortress. I should go and check up on the Lava Guardian. I ran back as fast as I could, but I was too late. I watched from a distance as the Ignis killed the Lava Guardian with his massive sword. You guys can't keep getting away with this! This time I'm stronger. I'm going to end your evil reign.
You little, or I guess not so little kitty. I hope you've had fun here in the Nether, just like I had fun with your little wolf friend. He was weak and pathetic, just like you.
No! Not Finn! Don't you dare have done anything to hurt him!
Don't worry, he's not dead, at least yet. He's having lots of fun with his owner and our other hostages.
You're gonna pay for that! I charged at the Ignis with everything I had, and unlike last time, I actually felt my sword piercing his armor. Haha! Now let's see how you can handle my blasts of fire. I started shooting the Ignis with my newly unlocked fire abilities, and they seem to do some serious damage too. Haha! I knew you wouldn't beat me this time. Just then, he upped the pace and started using a bunch of his own abilities that really hurt. Okay, fine. You have some heavy hits too. It wasn't enough to stop me though, and it wasn't long until I dealt the final blow onto the Ignis and finally killed it. Finally, I'm one step closer to killing that Alpha Zombie. Just as I was about to leave, I saw the Ignis had dropped something. It was a bunch of netherite. This was amazing, but I didn't have time to wait. I had to go and save the people I care about. I started heading back to the Nether portal, but just then I spotted the King's Rock and saw the fire dragon looking at it from the distance. The statue also had a bridge built over to it, so I decided to go and ask him what's up. What's going on? Why are you not in hiding?
Bad days are upon us. I'm afraid the Alpha Zombie has become too powerful. It seems as if he's going to attempt to break through the magic barrier of the King's Rock. And if he truly has become as strong as I assume he is, he might even be able to make it through. If that happens, it will be over for each and every one of us. Our time is running low, Silly-O. You must stop him.
I promise to try my best. I will defeat him. I promise. I arrived back in the overworld on days 87 through 93 and wasted no time. I ran straight back home. My worst nightmares had come true. Finn wasn't there and my house had been ransacked. Oh no, Finn, how could I leave you out here all alone? Ugh. How could I do this? I have to head to those coordinates right now. I took whatever crops were left at my farm and headed straight to the coordinates. I better not be too late. Wait, I see something. I bet that's where everybody's being kept. I made my way closer to what looked like a small holding facility for prisoners, but I was met with my worst nightmares. The prison was empty. How do I keep letting this happen? I'm a failure. I couldn't take care of my family, Steve, or Finn. Maybe I'm just not cut out for this. Just as I was about to leave, I saw a note drop down, so I quickly rushed to go and pick it up. It was called Finn's Notes, and it read, Cilio, they're taking us somewhere far underground. I have a feeling you will never see us again. The Alpha Zombie is currently preparing a raid of the King's Rock, and he plans to do this soon. You have to stop him, Cilio. You're the only one who can do this. I also found something that I think may help you along the way. I left a book at home which has the coordinates to a massive diamond vein I found while you were gone. Go get them and go fight off that Alpha Zombie. I promise to do that, Finn. For all of us. I made it back home on days 94 through 99 and got right to work. I found a chest hidden between some bushes and one of the edges of the base's outdoor walls. I opened it up, found Finn's book inside of it, and I even found tons of wool in it. This should be enough to finish up my statue. Thank you, Finn. You're way too thoughtful. I followed the coordinates I found in the book, and just like Finn had said, I found what must have been hundreds of diamonds. Wow! This is amazing! I can't believe this! I mined up enough diamonds to make myself an entire set of diamond armor and tools, and then got to crafting. This will definitely be a massive help in my battle against the Alpha Zombie. That's when I realized I also had a bunch of netherite I had got from the Ignis. I used it to reinforce my gear, and just like that, I was ready to go and stop that evil beast. But before that happened, I had one last task I had to go and finish up first. I took all the wool that Finn had left me and used it to start finishing up the statue. There was a lot of work to do, but I needed to do this. It was a beacon of hope for not only other creatures, but for myself too. That no matter what happens, at least this will be a demonstration of hope for any future rebellions that my spirit is with them. It took me a long time, but it was all worth it because the statue looked absolutely amazing. All that effort had finally paid off. I then quickly packed up my bags and made my way towards my final challenge, located in the Nether. I hopped into the portal and was transported into the Nether on day 100, and I started my journey towards the King's Rock immediately. It wasn't long till I made it there, but it was too late. I saw the Alpha Zombie taking his first steps towards the King's Rock, but he wasn't teleported back by the force field. Oh no, if he's strong enough to bypass the force field, he must be stronger than anything I've ever faced before. I can't let him go and claim the statue's reward. Hey, get away from that statue and come and fight me one-on-one. If you really believe that you're strong, you won't need the King's Rock's reward.
Oh, you pathetic little kitten. Do you really think I couldn't kill you with just one hit? But alas, I will not fall for your mind games. It is too late. You failed to save your family and your pathetic little friend. You've never amounted to anything and you never will. Now watch as I claim the statue's reward and become unstoppable.
No! The Alpha Zombie kept advancing towards the statue and eventually made it to the chest.
Wahaha! I now hold the power of the legendary Infernal Sword, and you will be my first victim.
I have to try and fight him, no matter how powerful he is. I have to do it for my family and friends. This is it! The Alpha Zombie charged at me with incredible speed, but to my surprise, his attacks didn't do as much damage as I thought they would have. Wait, what? I thought he was gonna be way more powerful. I started fighting back against him, but even though he didn't deal a lot of damage, he sure tanked my hits like a champ. Ugh, why won't my netherite sword penetrate his armor? I don't care. I won't give up. Even if I die trying to fight you, I'm doing this to stand up for everything I believe in, and for the people I care about. Just then, I saw a light flash from the King's Rock, just as if it was calling me. Wait, what was that? I quickly dodged the Alpha Zombie's attacks thanks to the Lava Guardian's training, and rushed over to the statue. There's no way. Could I be? I took a few steps towards it, and to my surprise, I wasn't teleported back. But this is impossible. How could I be the chosen one if the Alpha Zombie was able to claim the statue's reward? Just then, I noticed that the Alpha Zombie had approached me and was just about to strike me from behind. But right before he could do that, he was teleported back.
What? How can this be? I am the strongest being on this planet. I'm supposed to be the chosen one.
I felt as if the statue had an aura that was calling me, so I went up to it and decided to open the chest. Inside it, I saw a massive sword called the King's Blade and took it out of the chest. The statue must have sensed your evil intentions and gave you a false reward. I bear the power of the King's Blade, and I'm going to put an end to your evil reign.
No, this cannot be.
I started swinging the blade at the alpha zombie, and I could tell each hit was piercing his armor and hurting him badly. It wasn't long before I dealt the finishing blow and killed the alpha zombie. I did it!
You have done well, young king. That sword has only ever been given out once in the past, way before my time. It has only ever been needed in the direst situations to keep peace in the lands. I recommend you leave the sword back where you found it, in case it is ever needed in the future.
I did as the fire dragon said and placed the King's Blade back in the chest.
Good work. Now follow me. I have someplace to show you to.
The fire dragon led me all the way to the overworld and led me deep down a cave system until he eventually brought me to some sort of secret entrance.
I think you will be very pleased with what you find inside.
I broke into the structure and found my owners, Steve and Finn, all locked up in cages. Guys, I did it! I killed the alpha zombie and restored peace to the biomes. But more importantly, you guys, the people I care most about, are safe. Now let me take you back home, guys. I have so many stories to tell you. And that was how I survived 100 days as a fire cat.